everybody, and you're all welcome back to the greenhouse at Darver House in Kilkenny in Ireland. It's been a while since I've done a little video. This is the third one, and thanks to my son Rob for putting these together, because I'm afraid I'm not that techie and I wouldn't have a clue. Today I am going to use some garden flowers that I picked yesterday in the evening and put into buckets of cold water to condition them. The whole kaleidoscope of colours. So hopefully this will turn out all right. And I'm using a block of biodegradable floral foam in this boat-shaped container, which I've had for quite a while, and I've secured it with the clear anchor tape so you don't see it. And this is a kind of matte finish on it, and it holds a lovely lot of water, so it's good to keep the floral foam nice and damp, because this time of the year plants or foliage and flowers are so soft they don't last very long. Now, to give a little bit of structure to this, I'm just going to use these Mitsumata sticks that I've had for something else that were spray painted this purple colour, which I thought was kind of okay with the dish and everything else that we're going to be using. So I'm just going to pop those in randomly. This is just the way they are, so hopefully they'll work. Now, you don't have to use something like this. You can use anything else that you have in a branch. You can use willow or hazel or anything like that. And at the base, I'm going to use these Hosta leaves. This is a new Hosta I got last year. I got a lot of them in from Holland, because I used to have a little nursery here many moons ago, but between, well, life happens, I think, and everybody wants this lifestyle experience, so I found it difficult to get people to keep coming to little small businesses, but I think that might have changed now with all the COVID problems in the country. And I wanted to have some new varieties as I was making a new island bed in my garden, which is an old walled garden which I did have the nursery in, but it's now been converted into a more ornamental garden. But it's a slow process and a labour of love, and hopefully I will eventually get it finished, that I'll have all the different beds that I need in the garden. But it's a very sturdy little hosta, really tough little leaves. Now, some of them are a lot brighter than others. These are the under leaves, the ones that are a bit paler. And the frost the other night, I'm afraid, did a lot of damage to a lot of the new growth in the garden. So some of these got a little bit burnt as well. So hopefully they'll come back. But it's one of the best of them that has survived the frost of the other night. So I'm just putting a whole lot of these, very traditionally actually, kind of design, a kind of a skirt all around this, which isn't really what I like, but anyway, foliage is so soft this time of the year. These are the only plants that I have that are fairly sturdy and it will withstand doing this at the moment. Even the conifers are all young growth. So I've put those there like that, and I'm going to put a few on the top as well, layered across this. And I'll put a few, I'll put them all. The bed that I have these in, it's mostly all purples and pinks and lilacs and some whites. And then I made a hot bed also with lots of grasses and bamboo and that kind of thing. So hopefully it'll eventually come to be a nice bed of mixed varieties of plant material, and for cutting, as a cutting bed also for flower arranging. I have a long herbaceous border also, but that's all mixed varieties of plants. I'm just putting those in there like that, and hopefully you won't see the floral foam when I'm finished. Don't want any crossing stems because they can look a little bit strange. Now, so we have a little bit of a base And we have our Mitsumata sticks. So into this then I'm going to put some, these are the Hemerocallis golden chimes, which is a daylily, which is a very thin leafed little daylily, and it's an elegant little plant, lovely little flowers on it, and it has a lovely scent. So I'm just going to step these down as if they were growing in the garden. This lockdown has made us reevaluate, I think, what we have in our gardens and what we can do with what we have. And we're not running to buy flowers everywhere, and we have to utilise what we have. Now, we're lucky to be out in the countryside, and we've had no, there's been so much to do here, it doesn't make any, life just goes on as normal. And the only thing I really miss my flower arranging classes, hence these videos also. And I know that the flower shops have been finding it very difficult to survive in these strange times. So if you can, please support your local flower shops as well, and flower growers. Now, just to pick up the colour of these Mitsumata sticks, I'm using some of this nice Iris Siberica, which likes damp area, and our garden is extremely dry here. But these now are quite good, and they're a lovely, elegant little flower. They're so pretty. And just think the stems look lovely with the Mitsumata sticks. These Mitsumatas I've had for a long, long time. I was very lucky to be the runner-up to the Flower Ranger of the Year in Ireland in 2015, and very, very lucky to be representing Ireland at Canada Blooms in 2016, and I used Mitsumata sticks in my design there. So they're there since then, so that's not today or yesterday. But you keep a thing 20 years and you'll always find a use for it, and then when you do throw it out, it's gone and you haven't got it, and you could do that now. That's life. So they're just so pretty. I mean, I wish I was good at painting. I keep saying when I retire, but I don't know when that'll ever be. I'd love to learn how to paint with paint water, botanical watercolours. Now I'm just popping in those now as we go around there. And now I think we'll go for a pop of pink. These are Persicaria, previously known as Polygonum. This is Superba, Bistorta Superba, I think. I need to be corrected on that. So if anybody's watching this and I make a boo-boo with the name of a plant, please contact me and let me know, because I don't want to be giving you misleading information. It's amazing over time, plants, the names constantly change, and then you get into a kind of you're out of touch with them for a little while, and then the name has changed and you can't remember the new name, and things move fast. When you're getting on a bit with the grey hairs, these things really hit you, that you're forgetting things that you shouldn't forget. But I think you need to be working with plants every day as much as you can to remember all the names, because they can slip your mind. I'm just bringing these down through the design now, just randomly popping them down along and to the very bottom, just to bring my eye right down. I'll try and put a little in over here. They're like a lovely little flower. There's lots of Persicarias around, but don't just be careful that you don't ever get the dreaded knotweed in your garden, because that's the one that's has to be notified. It's very invasive and it does a lot of damage to foundations and things. So, and it's quite difficult to eradicate. You will see signs around the countryside where it has been, where there's signs up that county councils are trying to manage it. This is Linaria toad flax, which is a very pretty little flower, and it seeds everywhere. We have a lot of old stone walls here, and I noticed the other day it's seeding on top of them and it's everywhere. I'm just going to put in a tall one here in the centre. This, I suppose, is based on a, what we call a, this is a hard word to say, good job I haven't false teeth, a vegetative design, because it's as if plants are growing in their natural conditions. Now I've taken off some of the base leaves off these because they tend to wither before the rest of the flower. I just put him over there beside his compatriot. Oh, just broke that little guy. Now we're going, we're building down through the design. Oh, I have another one here, nice tall one. I'm just going to pop him in over here. They have lovely thin stems, so they're quite easy to put into the oasis. Now, what next have I got? Oh yeah, I'm going to use some of this lovely purple Ersymium, Bowles Mauve. This is the perennial wallflower, and I think it's the most essential plant to have in your garden. That's flowering since February, and it's getting a bit sad now, and I need to prune them back. Take off the dead flower heads. But if you grow it, please take cuttings, because it's a short-lived perennial and it is very easy to propagate from cuttings. And you can take softwood cuttings at this stage of the year. Don't know if any of you were watching Monty the other night on television, and poor Monty lost Nigel, which was very sad. And any of you who know when you have a pet that you lose, it's very traumatic. And Carl Klein was taking all the lovely cuttings of the salvias. Now I lost some salvias over the winter. I had some lovely ones I grew last year, but they didn't make it. So I have to go back to the drawing board again now this year and put in lots more, because they're a lovely plant. I think it was the wet winter really that did the damage, and I didn't take them up and bring them in, which I probably should have. Now we have put in some of the Ersymium, the Bowles Mauve. One more here. Just put two of them together there just to be company for each other. Okay, stand up there now, straight. Oops. Now that's very purple and yellow. So I think I'm going to add in a pop of colour. And I grew these lovely Ranunculus in the tunnel in a couple of big pots from bulbs last winter. And I was waiting and waiting to see them come into flower. And they're a member of the buttercup family, and they are, of course, I've never grown them before, so I don't really know a lot about them, but I like the colour, the shape of them. And I've used them in flower arranging, but I bought them as cut flower from the florist, and they were lovely double ones. So I had this lovely idea in my head that I was going to have all these beautiful double ranunculus, but I'm afraid some of mine, not very many of them are double, but isn't that a most beautiful little flower? Look at that little face. Oh, they're gorgeous. So this fellow's just a nice big open one, so I'm going to pop him down on the base, just there to bring my eye down, and to keep him company at the other side. There's another big one here. I'll put this one over at this side. As I say, these probably won't last very long in the floral foam, but hopefully we'll get some enjoyment out of them for a few days. There's another nice orange one. I'm just taking off the leaves, and I'll put another one up here at the back. I love orange and purple and pinks and all these clashing colours together. And this is another one. There's a lovely wiggly woggly one. I love plants when they do that. I think that's too structured and not natural looking can be harder to arrange. This is the way they want to go in nature, so we let them go. Just pop him up there, that he's there. I just want to bring the orange through, so I'll go for another orange one. And they have the really unusual centre. They're really, really pretty. There's another guy here. Just trying to get them in between the hosta leaves. Now I've little bits, there's little gaps here, but I'm not worried about those because we can always fill that in with a little bit of moss. Another one here now, just take off the leaves. Just tidy it up a little bit. Put another orange one here. Now, need a bit of orange at the base. I better bring one down. And it's a lovely cerise pink one. As I said, this is going to be a kaleidoscope of colours. It's not going to be too particular of who goes in where. I want to pick out the ones that are the freshest now. Oh, they're losing their petals, a lot of them. There's a little double one. They're like little rows of paper. They're very, very, very pretty. Make this little guy short. I don't want to stuff this too much either now, so now just turn it again there. Just see how we're going at that side. Another one here. That's another lovely one. Just put him. He wants to sit up that way so he can go in at the side. Shorten him a little bit. And just looking for a nice one. Some of them look kind of like poppies. Poppies will be along shortly. And they're just so lovely. Last year I had hundreds of the opium poppies growing everywhere, and the colours were gorgeous. And I keep bees. I think I said that on a previous video. And the bees, I got some super videos of the bees buzzing in the poppies. They were really, really nice. Now we have a bit of red, so why not? Going to put that guy because he's going to come out there just and get another red one. Have some more, still some more orange. So okay, I'll just pop him in over. I'll turn it around. I'm just not going to put too much red in, but a little bit. We're out in the country here, so if you hear any strange noises, it could be starlings on the roof of the classroom. They tend to be up there looking for moisture, and we had a shower of rain, well, a few showers of rain last night, and there's moss on the roof, and I think they like the moss, picking in it. And there goes some other siren of some description. Now, I'm just going to pop in another hosta leaf here. I see a little bit of a space. And I think we're nearly done because I don't want to put too much in here because some of you see the wood for the trees with a nice red. That's so much more like a poppy, isn't it, than an Ranunculus. Oh dear, there's a siren going. Somebody's in bother somewhere. Now just tidy up my... Had these lovely tulips called spring green, but I don't think I need them. And just to finish this off now, I'm just going to add in a little bit of moss into the little spaces that I have. Now you can use mossing pins to do this, just a little bit of a mossing pin, but I don't think I need them here because I have just very little bits to pop in. I don't want to put too much moss because the biodegradable oasis is a dark colour, and with that it helps so you don't see it as much as the green oasis, I find. And as moss and is a natural plant material, it's quite acceptable to cover your mechanics with moss. And for any beginners or people who haven't done flower arranging before, by what I mean by mechanics are the plant material, the components I'm using to do the arrangement in, be it floral foam or a pin holder and a container. They're all called your mechanics. And that's just a little, just have a little twirl around just to see am I missing any bits anywhere. Have a little bit of moss in here. If this was for competition, it would be a different story. You would have a little bit more, have to be a bit more particular than I have been now. I've just broken that fellow, so we just take him. I know he's just a little bit, he'll get a drink of water and he'll recover. So that's my take on a vegetative design of garden plant material from my garden, which I picked yesterday evening in the cool and put in water overnight. Now, as I say, they probably will not last very long, but I hope you enjoy the colours and brightens your day on this kind of a dull day here in Kilkenny, and hopefully the first day of a little bit of relaxation of restrictions with COVID. And I'm hoping you're all enjoying your gardening and out and about and taking it all in and growing some lovely plants for flower arranging. And I'll catch up with you all again soon. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. And thank you to my son Rob for videoing this for me, because I wouldn't have a clue how to do this. But thank you all. Bye.